Hi everybody, Adam here. Welcome back to our Lego room. In today's video, we're taking a look at the red and yellow freight locomotives. Both of these were released as part of Lego sets over the years. I'm going through a larger process here of getting all of our trains, both the locomotives and the train cars, onto track, whether it be on the tabletop layout, as part of the lower level layout. I want to get everything onto track or have it accessible to the mainline track so it can be kind of wheeled out and ready to run. And as part of that, I'm going through with our locomotives and getting things motorized where they're not, and making sure that battery packs are, put into everything. So we've got both of these locomotives ready to go. I'm going to put them through their paces around the layout today. We've got the yellow freight train locomotive here pulling the Maersk container cars. And then we've got the red freight locomotive pulling the TTX container cars. Should be cool to see these in action. And it's been a while since I've run either of these on the layout, so nice to see them getting into usage again. And that's part of the goal with what I've been doing here. Goal is to get all of our different train cars, locomotives, etc., all into a runnable state. And I want to have these running around the layouts, whether it be the tabletop layout, the lower level layout, or our elevated ceiling height layout. I want all of those to be in action on a regular basis. Want to be running regularly through all of our trains. So let's get both of these locomotives fired up and moving around the layout. So we've got both trains running around the layout. The red one is moving with some extreme purpose, but they're both running quite well. Nice to see both of them moving around the layout again. Still really enjoy the fact that we can have the trains moving through both the two mainline tracks, but also that we do have that pathway through the yard there for trains to move as well. Helps to mix things up a little bit and give some interesting ways for trains to move around the layout. Really happy in general with how the lower level layout is coming together and what that's going to unlock for us in terms of ability to run multiple trains at once. Love the tabletop layout. It's really a lot of fun and a lot of cool things still going into this part of the layout, but the more tracks that are put in place that can have trains running independently on them, just the better. It just gives us more options and opportunities for running trains. So the fact that we'll be able to have pretty soon, two trains moving on the tabletop layout, two trains moving on the ceiling level layout there, and possibly, I think if it all works out the way I want, we should be able to get up to 6 trains moving around the lower level layout at once. That's going to be pretty amazing. And so like I said, I'm trying to get all of our trains back into working order. These two hadn't been run in a while around the layout, but they had been run relatively recently. They were pretty quick and easy to get back into service here. Still have a few around the perimeter of the room that need to be fixed up. I'd like to get the Emerald Knight back into service and have that running around the layout. still a few more trains to motorize, and then obviously we've got a number of locomotives and train cars that we're continuing to build from different instruction sets that we've picked up. But this is another sort of nice milestone along the journey here. And, I know these aren't necessarily, super realistic trains, but these are still a cool part of our collection, and really happy to be able to have them in running, working order. And it'll be great to have them around the layout here in the Lego room. And, I plan to keep adding different trains that Lego has released over the years to the collection. I'd like to have as many, of the different ones that Lego has released over all the years. It'd be nice to have as many of those as possible in the collection here. I think it's just a cool aspect of the collection, sort of a historical, sort of catalog of all the different things that Lego has experimented with and released over the years. So definitely a cool part of the collection that we will continue to fill out while we are also building and collecting different realistic train models that people are releasing instruction sets for, or that people are selling. Still looking to add a lot of those into our rotation here as well. And I think in general it'll just be fun. The more trains we have to run here, and the easier it is to get them into sort of action around the layout, the better off we will be. And ultimately, greater ease with running trains is a good goal, I think, to strive for. I'm going to move to a different angle so we can see a few different parts of the layout and see the trains from a different angle as they're moving around. Definitely lots of cool things ahead though, as we get these trains all into working order and continue to build out the tabletop layout here, as well as finishing off the last bits of Mills track for the lower level layout. We've got some cool things coming up with our North Pole Railroad train. We've got some exciting things coming along with a Western train, locomotive and train cars, and some interesting Mills modules to go with that. And obviously a number of things that we're working on over in the city and around the room in general. A lot of parts organization work going on. Really happy with how our sorting and reorganization efforts are going with our parts wall. Lots of cool stuff ahead, and continuing to work on a number of different models from various instruction sets that I've picked up. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so that you don't miss out on any of those upcoming videos. And thank you very much for watching. We will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.